indexing classes in Detroit. You just heard Change Gonna Come by Bizzle. It wasn't too good to see a few people come in. I see Erica Sandra Lewis, my niece, or should I say my sister-in-law, and also Russell. Like to see you, bruh. And it says 3 here. I don't see the other person here. But otherwise, thank everybody for coming to indexing classes in Detroit. I am your host, Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. My wife is your co-host, Miss Joe. I'm just gonna leave it like that, Miss Joe. She's your co-host, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be sharing information according to indexing, or should I say, about indexing. And what indexing is indexing is, I like to call it your protection. Is actually being indexed. You're being identified in the new system, which is the creator system building in the world today. I see this according to prophecy. Now, we're in a system right now. I've been sharing for quite some time that the system that we're living in is the satanic system. Satan has been ruling the earth for, I'm gonna say, thousands of years, ever since Rome came into power. And if you ever get time, see, I give scripture. A lot of time people don't go researching and check out what I'm saying. Some do. But what I'm sharing with you is that once you research the information, the scriptures that's been shared with you. Hope you're not blurry over there. Once you research the information that's being shared with you, you can actually see what's going on. Prophecy is happening. Prophecy has always been happening. We are living prophecy. We've been living prophecy since the beginning, since the fathers started prophets. I'm gonna put it like that. We've been living prophecy since day one because the Father's seen everything that's going on now. The Father's seen. I'm saying the Father, the Creator, the universe, however you want to see it. It was all foretold or foreseen before it actually began to be in process. So I'm sharing that with you because you can see that in Genesis, the Bereshith, which is Genesis, which is the first 5 books, but Genesis is the Bereshith, which is the beginning, and by that being the Bereshith, meaning it tells everything, all the information is there, and day one, everything was seen before creation was started. So, not to get off on that level, but just to give you an understanding or understanding or overstanding of where we're at and what has started in the process of time, what has happened then, where we are today, and where we're going. Now, we've been living the New World Order for quite some time. A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't understand it. But once the Roman Empire came into place, everything was, when I say taken over, it was taken over, might as well say, and everything was changed. From that point, a whole new rule started in place. Even though when the Babylonian Empire and the Medes and the Persians came in, their system was nothing like the Greeks and the Romans. When the Greeks came in, they started tearing down and they started taking over. But when Rome came in, they switched and manipulated and twisted a lot of things to where the world would start worshiping and taking on false gods, worshiping almost anything under the sun. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have been brainwashed for these things, not knowing it. Now, I did a video on today is the 20th, so that was the 18th. That was the beginning of the Shabbat. That was in the night of the Shabbat on the 18th. I did a video calling lawful versus legal. And in that video, I put it in this post. So you can see it in this post once you go down and read the information in there. And I did put the information in this post. So you can actually go, if you haven't seen it already, you can go to this post and you can read, while I was doing the live and what I was doing for YouTube as well, because I had to record it. It cut off, so it got split in half or for YouTube. But you'll see those 2 parts in there as well. And the first part, when I had it on Instagram cut off, so I ended up starting taping live. So this is where we are now. So you'll be able to see that whole video. I'll be sharing information. I had a Zoom class. I was, well, this is part of indexing as well. Had a Zoom class of court earlier, or should I say last week on the 14th. And that and other thing, I ain't say transpire, but a lot of things happen and show that indexing is the stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody else agree or not, but I'm out here. I'm sharing this information that you know that indexing has weight to it. You know what I'm saying? I can give you some examples real quick. Well, I'll do that, just before I go into everything else, because that way some people are intrigued with certain things, and maybe this would probably intrigue you as well. I would say this: during my court date, during the date of my court, on Zoom, all my phones is working now, so I can't show you, but I did have it in the video. When I had court, the lady came on. See, and this is what I was wanting to share with you as well. In that information, lawful versus legal, I put in there information, other links in there that would be very, very vital for you. Because as I say, and as I said, indexing is your protection. It's your protection. It's like your cloak of protection. But knowing the law is your shield. Because I'm going to tell you, you can be protected with indexing. A lot, if you're not doing nothing or what have you, and let's just say you out there and you're driving, or not driving. Driving is a commercial term. If you're out there traveling, and these policy officers, I also broke down Daniel chapter 8, verse 23 through 25. I broke that down and showed you where we're living the policies of today, and in the latter times, talking about today, they shall destroy wonderfully. And they're doing that to our people, talking about destroying the holy people, which is us. And we don't know, we give ourselves over to the system every time when they ask you, do you understand the charges that's been held against you? Once they say that, and you say yes, you have given yourself over to the court. You have also said you are guilty. And another thing I also want to share with you, the guilty and non-guilty are commercial. They're commercial. Guilty or non-guilty. They both have the word guilty in it. The key is you don't hear them say, are you innocent? Because it used to be said you're innocent until proven guilty. Nowadays, everybody's guilty of everything. They'll say one thing, but they're guilty. You got to go in and see the post near the end. Well, near the end of that post, I really gave my story about what happened in order for me to get the Zoom date, because it was really to get the Zoom date. And then when I got the Zoom date, when I went into court, they were trying to tell me. See, when you do your research, you find out traffic tickets. All the stuff according to these traffic laws are none but acts, ordinances, and statutes. They're not laws. You're not supposed to be getting arrested for these different things. As long as you have not hurt, harmed, or endangered anyone, or have endangered someone's property, or have damaged someone's property, you should not be in a courtroom. You should not even be dealing with the judges of this system in the first place. You should not be dealing with them because there was no crime committed. A crime is when you hurt someone, damage someone's property, or anything in that matter. When an act has been done, that's when you have broken a law. When an act happened, until then you haven't broken the law. Until then you have not broken a law. But a lot of people don't know that. See, and then the system has taken advantage of the people. Don't forget, you go to their schools. Their schools are the ones who teach you to go do what? To get a career. It doesn't teach you how to handle your own affairs. It doesn't teach you how to stand or present yourself in a court of law. This system doesn't teach you that. The system teaches you everything they want you to know so they can feed off you. Like a parasite. I don't know if y'all know that or understand that or not, but that's actually what's going on. And this is the reason why I also had which my boy Russell Clayton. He just made a new group page. I forgot the name of it, but he made a new group page. I went on there yesterday for the first time, I think it was. And actually I had it or have it on my story page, and also is in my post, and it's talking about attorney. That's the title, attorney. It tells you what the attorney does. The attorney is trying to make money for the system because they all are part of the system. And just to share with you, I usually go into information on index and things like that, but I'm starting off here first to have so you can have a understanding of to how to cover yourself, or should I say, because the indexing is your protection, but you got to know how to cover yourself. You got to know how to. You don't even have to maneuver. All you got to do is just stand on your square. All you got to do is use your sword and shield. The indexing is your shield. The sword is you knowing the law. And by you knowing the law, you'll be able to cut back. You got to go and say, I want to give you too much in it, because if I give you too much, you ain't going to want to go look at the information anyway. It's a lot of pertinent information in there. I mean, it ended up being 2 hours long, but once you start listening to it, and if you're really in tune, you will be able to understand what's being said. And also you'll be able to go into the links, because those it's 5 links in there that this I like to call him a brother, because even though he's Caucasians, he's out here trying to help the people and sharing information. But the information that he's sharing is very vital for you. That's just for you to know when you out here talking, or when you have to deal with these man, this look bad. When you have to deal, excuse me live. Forgive me, but it just looked blurry to me. When you have to deal with these policy officers, that's what they're named. They call themselves police officers because they're policying for the corporation. And this is what indexing is taking you out of, the corporation. The corporation is of the Vatican, the Queen of England, and their strong arm is the United States government. That's why they're set up all over the world. And when you study Jeremiah chapter 25, starting at verse 15, it talks about verse 15, it talks about really dealing with us first. The Father's chosen. Dealing with us first, because we are the ones supposed to keep the law, but we didn't. So he's going to whoop us first, and he's going to go out and have every nation drink his cup of his fury. And the cup of his fury, they are his indignation. They are his whooping stick. But see, it all depends on where you want to stand. You have to want to stand, either come back to the Father by keeping his laws and doing the word, or do you just want to go and be out there in the wilderness and get eaten up by the sharks? Wilderness, the sea is a wilderness, because the actual sharks is out there, actually is of the maritime admiralty law. Maritime admiralty law is the law of the seas, where the sharks is actually devouring the people. Give me information. It's up to you to check it out. If you don't understand something, go look it up. Maritime admiralty law. Check that out. That's what you're living. So, and your straw man, which is what me and my wife, we've been sharing with y'all. My wife called it your paper twin, or what you have been given at birth, which I call the cap they put on you at birth, which is your birth certificate and your Social Security card, which follow you from the womb to the tomb. Those things have you enslaved and shackled to this system. Those are the same thing that got you in. They're going to be the same thing that take you out. You need a color copy of your birth certificate, your Social Security card, a color copy of your ID card. Also get 2 passport pics as well, 2 passport pictures, and also the POA form in the sobcpr.com. Once you read, forgive me. Once you scroll down to the indexing point. It talks about the POA forms in there, or you can actually go into this post. You go into this post, you'll see it say POA, and once you see the POA forms there, you can actually print them out. Went offline for a second. You can actually print them out. You can print the POA forms out, and you can email them in. The information is on a PO, is on the information, and it's also in the post. You can email them in and to shellybowling@gmail.com. You can email them in there, and you can also, I would say, do both. Mail them in a color copy of your information and email them in to Shelly Bowling. That way she'll get your process started on indexing and it'll get you out of the system. But all I gotta say is this. They had me waiting an hour, and when I didn't know if they were listening to me and my wife's conversation, but I'm sitting up there waiting. I said, I got things I gotta do. I said, this is gonna be a tort. This is gonna be another tort. A tort is a suit. Is when you can sue. I got that in that post as well. I made sure I put that in that post where it's another link, and I call it "What If Satan Won." In that link, "What If Satan Won," I tell you, you can look at. I'm looking at "What If" on the marbles, and I'm seeing how "What If Voltron won," and I seen that, and then just hit me, "What if Satan won?" And then I just gave my analogy on that, and then I put about 75 screenshots in that post where you can go in and see certain things that will help you understand what a tort is and other things that are going on if you go to court. But really, we're not supposed to be in the court system. We're not even supposed to be in the court. That's their jurisdiction. We're not a part of that jurisdiction once you get indexed. But it's a whole lot more that we're going to share. There's a whole lot more we're going to share about indexing, the paperwork on indexing, and a lot more. How you doing, baby?
Okay, how are you?
Good. My baby coming on down, y'all. But my main thing is I'm just sharing with you the not the effects, but the accomplishments that has happened since I've been indexed. Now, when I tell people since 2018 up until today, I've been stopped about 16, maybe 17 times. I've been stopped by the cops for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? A headlight is out. The front bumper had been off for a minute. It got pulled off at one time. It's all kind of stuff that we've gotten stopped for. Because cops out here, they're hungry. They're hungry because the system is dying, whether y'all know it or not. So I'm just sharing with you that this is what's going on today, and the cops is out here, and a lot of people, they're harassing because the reason why I got stopped in order to go to the Zoom meeting is because after me making a Michigan U, you got one way coming this way, you got one way going this way, but then you got a U-turn where you can come through. After I made my U-turn Michigan U, when I came, and then I had picked a brother up from the airport earlier that day. We went shopping and stuff. I got some stuff for my house. He got some stuff for him and his wife because him and his woman he was coming to actually see her. He was gonna meet at a hotel in Madison County, Madison, Michigan, how you want to say it. So we made it out there. It was kind of late. Around about this time, about between 6 and 9 o'clock. I'm gonna say that much. Between 6 and 9 o'clock. Nobody was around. It was getting kind of dark. It was actually dark at the time. It must have been right after, and I think it was. I think it was right after the quote unquote daylight saving time. It could have been. I don't remember exactly, but it was dark. But made the Michigan U with no cars coming, and then I made a right up into the hotel. Cops come behind me, and I'm like wondering what they stopped me for. Well, you failed to put your turn signal on when you made a right up into the driveway. I'm like, what? When no cars around. So, I'm not going to give the story because the story is in I gave the story there, so I don't want to give away, so y'all can go there and check it out. But the whole point is that I'm just give you the first beginning and end. The whole point is that at at the Zoom meeting for the judge never showed up. I'm sitting there waiting. The judge never showed up. Their so-called attorney, which also I was just sharing with you, the attorney that wanted to attorney for me, but she was trying to avoid my question. I said, "Who are you here for?" She said, "Well, I'm handling the case." I said, "For who?" I'm just handling the case, and she kept trying to avoid the question. I said, "Who are you trying to handle the case for?" Then she kept trying to avoid, but she had to answer. She said, "Well, I'm your attorney, or should I ask you first? Do you need an attorney?" I said, "No, I don't need an attorney. I don't need anyone to turn for me." So mainly went off into that conversation, but it was other stuff said that I'm not going to say here. That's in the post that y'all should check out for yourself. But the whole point is, after I got done talking to her, she got off. "Well, we're going to get the magistrate. He'll be with you shortly." Me and my wife, she's sitting with me. They didn't see her, but she was here. We waited for almost an hour. No, not almost an hour. It was almost an hour and a half. We waiting. And I ended up saying, I don't know if they listened to us in between our conversation, but I said, "I know this is going to be a toy. I'm simple. I got things to do. They'll be wasting my time." And all of a sudden, as soon as I said that, it said, this session has been ended by host. I was like, whoa, they was listening to us. But the point is, I told them I wanted them to throw it out. And if they didn't throw it out, if it come back anytime in the future, I took pictures when I was there, and I took pictures when they ended it. That ain't on me, and I don't have nothing to do with them. I'm not a part of their jurisdiction. So, just wanted to share with everybody out here. When you get your paperwork, Shelly is dealing with a lot of people, and I don't know how many people is on her. I don't know how many people is on her staff, but she's handling 198 nations. If you listen to the call, if you go to sovcpr.com, you listen to the calls. They got archives from 2014, 2015. Up until today, and they do it 3 times a week, 2 times on Mondays and Fridays, I believe it is, and 1 time on Wednesday. But they do calls, they do conference calls every week. You can always go in there and listen to when they redo it, the recordings. You can go in there and listen to the recordings anytime. So you can do that if you like, and just check out the information. But just to share with you, Dr. Henderson, he's the one who sued the Vatican, the Pope, the United States, and I like to say the Queen of England, because he said the industrial of England. So I'm saying Queen of England. He never said that, but I'm saying it. So he sued them because they are the ones who are over your birth certificate. You're owned by them. Just like in chattel slavery, when they would buy you off the block, just like Black Friday, when everybody go out here buying stuff for cheap. It's just like buying your brothers and sisters off the block. That's why they call it Black Friday. That's where Black Friday come from. But I'm not trying to make you feel good to anything like that. I'm just sharing information. But otherwise, it's things that we do. We don't realize we keep energy of certain things going. Whether if we understand that innocently or knowingly, it's a certain energy behind things that happens and keep going on that we don't realize or we don't know. So a lot of time you do things and you're prolonging something because you keep the energy behind it going. So mainly like this quote unquote Christmas that everybody is going out buying gifts for. You're keeping the energy of that going, and you don't realize you're bringing it to life. You're bringing that energy is alive as long as you celebrate it with all the other holidays that they have given. You are supporting it, whether you know that or not. And they use the children to make you feel guilty because you went through it. But when you grow up and see that it's a lie, as it speaks of in Jeremiah chapter 16, the last 4 or 5 verses, I say from 16 or 17 through 21, that our father have inherited lies. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it real quick. Jeremiah chapter 16, I want to get this for you real quick. And I'm sharing with you where everything is going and where people are going to start to say and see. See, when you read Jeremiah chapter 16 in its fullness, you will have the understanding and the understanding of the full contents of it, because it talks about before, or during where we at right now. It talks about what's coming, and it talks about afterwards. And when it talks about before, it's verse 10 through 14 in chapter 16 of Jeremiah. I'm not going to read all that. Verse 10 through 13. Verse 14 and 15 talks about when the Father wakes us up. Therefore, behold, the days come, the Lord said, no more be said that the Lord liveth that brought the children up out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord lived that brought the children up out of the land of the north, which is where we are now, the north country. Land of north, and from all the lands whether he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. That means that this is after what we're coming out of right now. We're coming out of, I'm going to give it to you. Verse 10. And it shall come to pass. You got to understand prophecy. It shall come to pass. This is all a part of indexing. Where we are today, where we've been, and where we're coming from. Now, we're actually, where we've been and where we're coming from is what I'm reading right now. And it shall come to pass, verse 10, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore have the Lord pronounced wherefore our Father has pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against our Father, the Lord our Father? Now, as I shared and as I said in Ezekiel chapter 18, when it speaks on a lot of people, and I said this in the last information as well, we have sinned and we're being sinning. And I started off in Isaiah chapter 1, starting at verse 12 through 18, I believe it was. Verse 12 through 18, or 12 through 17, or 12 through 18, in the lawful, and the difference between lawful and legal. I started off with that to share with you the difference. A lot of things we doing today, they have taken good for evil, and they think evil is good. And that's going on today. And until you read the law to find out, you don't know. And until you read the law, you'll find out how we're supposed to be living according to the law, especially when we get indexed, because when you get indexed, that's how we're going to be living. All right? So, as I was saying, when it asks, or what is our sin, or what is our we have committed against the Lord our Father, then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith our Father, and have walked after other gods. They're doing it today, not even realizing it. Doing it today, not even realizing it. And have walked after other gods, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. This is the reason why we're going through what we're going through today. Verse 12. And ye, which is you, have done worse than your fathers. Saying we have done worse than our fathers. Until you come awoken, you've done, or you're doing worse than what our ancestors have done. And you have done worse than your fathers. For behold, you walk everyone after the imagination of your evil heart. It says of his evil heart. Of your evil heart, that they may not hearken. You may not hearken unto me. You may not hear what I'm saying, because you're doing what you want to do. This is what's going on today. And this is where we at today. A lot of people can't see it. A lot of people read it, as I was saying in the other post. But y'all don't know it. Y'all can't see it because you're doing what you want to do. You ain't reading it to understand what's being said. You ain't reading the manuscript to understand what we should and should not be doing. But you're doing what you want to do. This is what it's saying. And I'm showing you the before and where we're going. Number 13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither you nor your fathers, and there shall you serve. It says ye, but I'm telling you. There you nor your fathers, and there shall you serve other gods day and night. Day and night, where I will not show you favor. And we have not been shown favor in this land. We have not been shown favor in this land as long as we've been here. They've been, no matter how much our people try to be a part of these Caucasians or this Caucasian's system, some they let in because they being a good. I sure hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it. They being a good nigga. I'm going to be a good nigga, master. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do your job. I'm going to do your job better than you going to do it. And you know, a lot of our people do it. And I don't want to put it down, but a lot of our women can get in them jobs and they can take the job over. I'm not trying to be bad or not. Y'all know I'm right. You know, men can do it, but them women take it over and they run it. And y'all know it. Not trying to put anybody down. I'm just telling the facts and telling the truth. Therefore, behold, now this is another point that's coming up. Now this right here, well, I'm going to hit 13 one more time, then I'm going to 14. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye or you or your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods. You serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. Okay, let me share something with you. Even if you feel or believe that you are already here in this land, if you feel or believe you was already here, your ancestors was already here, and even though they came here and took over, if you feel or believe you was brought here from quote unquote Africa or from any other land, no matter what, the whole point is the way the land is made and laid out, you don't know it. You know why? Because they have changed the land to where it really was. The land we got now is the concrete jungle. This was not our land. We have a concrete jungle we're living in. The concrete jungle is not our land. It's on our land, but this is not our land we're looking at. The way we're living is not the way we live. This is the Caucasian or the Roman Empire that set up their land on top of our land. They took over our world, which is our father's world. And the way we're living, how we're living, is not our way of life. Even the language we're speaking is not our language. But you have to have understanding to know this. Some of y'all satisfied how y'all living now. Y'all love the way this system is. Y'all love the money that you're getting. And don't even realize you're way. That's why he said, you won't hearken unto me. You done worse than your fathers. Because you're doing everything in your own imagination, think you're right in what you're doing. But if you don't follow the law and see what's being said according to the law, and then according to prophecy where we are now, he's bringing us out of that situation into the situation that we're going back to now. This is the reason why it says, therefore, in verse 14, therefore, behold, the days come. They're coming. Don't forget the Father is infinite, so we don't know how long it'll be before the days come, but these days they're here for those that want to step into them. Because those days come for those who are stepping into them. A lot of people still look at the world, but as long as you're handling your business according to the Father's ways and the Father's word, you are stepping into it, and a lot of people can't even see it. It's like different dimensions. Father, I see you got me going. You're teaching and doing the indexing at the same time. But I see it happening. It's different dimensions. Everyone is in they're a world of their own. And you're walking in a different dimension. Some people are peaceful. Some people are still out there doing crazy, hellish stuff. And you got some people that's living in peace, some people that's living in prosperity in different ways. So we have to understand and see how things are moving. Stop worrying about everybody else and start worrying about self. And then as you worry about self, you help others. Why you worry about self? Because if you're helping others, you are helping yourself. This is how we're changing the world, by helping ourselves, and anyone that's willing to hear and listen and be have an open mind to see and hear, no different than what I'm doing and me and my wife doing right now. We're sharing information with you that's good, that'll be good for you or anybody else. So, therefore, behold, the days come, saith our Father. It shall no more be said that the Lord or our Father liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But, verse 15, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. That's happening now. It is happening now. It's people, if you look on Facebook, it's certain people over there speaking about being over in the land right now. It's happening right now. See, some people think they're looking at the whole bunch going over at the same time. No, that was when we all was in Egypt at one time, all together as one family, and we came out with a mighty hand at one time. But this time, it's only going to be a remnant. It's going to be certain people. That's the remnant. Certain ones, the ones that's going to follow his laws, the ones that he's going to get, the ones he's going to awaken, he's going to bring them. Everybody ain't going. A lot of people think, oh, I'm Israel, I'm going. If your mind ain't changed, if you don't have a different mentality, you ain't going nowhere. And that's the difference. That's the point. We can wake up, but many are what? If you read Revelation with that 22, the whoremongers, the idolaters, the liars, the thieves, all y'all stand, y'all think you gonna bring y'all into his land? Or do you think do you think he's gonna give you prosperity? Just like I was just saying, if y'all not doing what you're supposed to do, you can be right where you are and living in heaven, right where you are, because the whole world is the Father's glory. And wherever you at, you won't be touched. Number one is, if you're following his ways, he's going to make it where they can't. Right now, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you, me learning and knowing what I know now, like I'm sharing with y'all, if y'all ain't willing to pick it up and listen to it, you're going to stay where you at. Indexing is your protection. Knowing the law is your covering. No, I say the indexing is your covering. Knowing the law is your protection. That's what it is. Knowing the law, you know why? Because you can put yourself back into their jurisdiction. Even though you index, they can try you and they can get you in their jurisdiction. And they get you in their jurisdiction by not knowing what you're supposed to know. They can do anything they want to do because you don't know how to stand. You don't know how to stand. And if you don't know how to stand on what you know, they can't see. The whole point is you got to understand they use threat. They use what is the baby mom saying? Threat. Yeah, threat. Duress. That's right. Threat, duress, and coercion. See, I was trying to say it in the way I usually say it, but threat, duress, and coercion. This is how they lead and guide you. They threaten you they threaten you by saying certain things and want you to get scared. But if you stand, because a lot of times you give. This is another thing I want to share with you. When she came and said, "Who are you? What's your name?" And I told her, I said, "I'm called by a certain my name, the name that I'm called by that was given at birth. Who are you supposed to see?" She don't know nothing. A lot of people give them information and give them. That's their fault. If they ask me questions, they don't know. That's on them. They ain't got nothing to do with me. They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their own fault. They got paperwork and stuff. And then when they summons you. And some of the stuff I'm sharing right now, but I put it in the post. When they summons you, this is bringing the dead to life. Just like when they do a seance. When they do a seance and they call the dead to come up to raise and start hearing voices and stuff like that. That's what a summons is. You got to understand and know words. If you don't understand and know words, believe me, you're going to be caught out there. You're going to be out there in the wilderness where everybody is right now. We're doing this because we love you. But if you ain't going to take the time to check out the information, it's on you. There's nothing no one can do, because if you choose to be ignorant, if you choose not to study, if you choose to have lack of knowledge, because my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. But thou rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou should be no priest to me, meaning a teacher to me, meaning to my people, because he's in every last one of us. I will also forget thy children, which is going on right now. So I just mainly got on this so I can actually get down to what I was going to tell you at the last point. I guess it was verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith our Father, and they shall fish them. They're going to go out there and they're going to be letting people know, getting them an understanding. And then it says, when fishing fish use lures. So they go out there and they kind of entice and talk a certain way to just spark your mind. That's what you do when you're fishing. When you're fishing, you go out there, hey, how you doing? You talking to you give information. Man, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Then you reeling them in because you letting them understand, okay, this is not what it is. Then they start to pick up on their own. But then when it goes to say, behold, I will send for many fishers, and says our Father, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, out of the holes of the rocks. That's out of the mountains, the hills. I'm telling you what the hunting part is, though. The mountains, the hills, that's the cities, that's the countries, that's the towns. Wherever we go, no matter what I'm doing right now. Hunting is when you what? When you going out there and you telling them what it is. What are they doing? What a lot of Hebrew Israelites doing out there on the streets? They're out there telling the truth about what it is. He's sending them hunters. They go out there letting them know what the word's saying, what it is, and they ain't backing off of it. They don't have to lure them in and stuff. No, they telling you what it is. It's up to you to accept it or reject it. That's what hunting is. That's the hunter point of the situation. This is where we are now. The fishers is out here. The hunters is out here. This is what's going on. And if you see all over, it's happening all over. If you look on Facebook, everywhere you look, you see Hebrew Israelites coming up, sharing information out on the streets. They recognizing who they is because prophecy is happening. And if you can't see it, that's on you. If you choose to deny it, that's on you. All right? Okay, now verse 17. For mine eyes, the Father, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. That's all our people ways with the things that we're doing. I say we, because us as a people. They are not hid from my face. Neither is there iniquity hid from my eyes. All the sin and stuff y'all doing, y'all think y'all getting away with is not being hid. You can't hide from the Father because the Father is within you. And if he's in you, he see everything you're doing and know everything you're doing. Because you have what? That breath of life. That breath of life is how he goes. I ain't gonna say how he goes all over the world, but he's all over the world and he sees everything through everybody's eyes. That's the Father. We are his life. We are life. And first, this is what I was going to get in verse 18. And first, I will recompense their iniquity and their sins double. That's what's going on right now. Our sins are being recompensed upon us with, number one, with this Jesus situation. That's one thing. That's now I'm going to tell you what it is. Double is church and state. Church is this religion that y'all idolizing. That's number one. This is the double right here. Church and state. The church is the religion and all the different idols that y'all are worshiping. That's one. Number two is state, which is what we're coming at right now. The state is talking about the maritime admiralty law. And this is what you're stuck in because you're stuck in a system that's got you shackled. And you don't even know it. That's the reason why we're bringing indexing classes to you. This is church and state. Church, the Queen of England. State, the Pope. If y'all understand where I'm going. If you understand what I'm saying. And that image y'all brought to life was Jesus. And all these other images out here. Y'all brought them to life because when you give energy to it, it comes to life, whether it's speaking or not. You give it energy because it's speaking in your head. You're reading from something that they gave you. They gave you, the cup of the Father's fury, which is the Roman Empire, gave you something that's not the straw man to Yeshua, which was a man that came. But it's so much, I'm not going to go off into that because it's part of it, but it's not. But you got to understand prophecy. You got to understand the codes that's going on in this book. A lot of people don't understand code. A lot of y'all read literally. Y'all don't understand the coding. Y'all don't understand what's been covered. Because when you see spiritually, you can see the covering of what's going on. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up this. Then I'm going to let my wife come on in with the indexing information. See, I went on a whole different side swipe on this one this time because I want y'all to understand where y'all can look at all my other videos. Y'all can see where I'm breaking down how the system is like the chessboard and all this other information. But I'm trying to give you understanding about law. If you don't start studying law and know how to stand against this satanic system, they're going to always be over you. They're like a well-oiled machine all around this earth against the people. And they're using the people to be against the people because once you get into their system to be a part of their genre, their organization, which is of their government, you are against the people as well. You are. Once you become a part of their genre. Once you become a part of their organization. Once you become a part of their organization, becoming a total part of their corporation. God, you are a corporation once you get index. I'm sorry, not index. Once you get a birth certificate and social security card at birth. At birth. Indexing takes you out of that corporation and out of that jurisdiction. But if you don't seek, you don't understand it, that's going to be on you because you're not seeking to understand. Let me finish it up here. The Father always gives me information on how to bring it. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times he used me as a vessel speaking because I wouldn't even come in here. It just came up and it came out. That's where the Father used me. Now, thank you for it, Father. Hallelujah. And I will recompense their iniquity, verse 18, and their sin double, as I just shared with you, because they have defiled my land and have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their. So you know what his inheritance is? You are his inheritance. What you filled inside your body, you are the Father's inheritance. A lot of people think it's just the land itself. You are the Father's inheritance. He lives within you. Have defiled my land and filled my inheritance with the carcasses, which is pork and stuff like that, of their detestable and abominable things. You know, pork is abominable to him. He can't stand it. A lot of y'all eating pork like it's candy, practically. Verse 19. Now, this is reason why I came to this point. Verse 19. O our Father, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction, what we're going through, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. So they won't come to who? They won't come to thee, which is coming to us. This is what's going on. And this is the day of affliction. The day of affliction is talking about our affliction and maybe getting ready to start their affliction. Because they're beginning to feel the burn. They're beginning to feel it. And my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee, come to us, from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely, this is the reason why I got on this in the first place. Surely our fathers have inherited lies. This is Jeremiah 16. I start at verse 10. Surely our father has inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So a lot of people think, let me show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. I'm going in my pocket, but let me do it like this. Now we use this because it's in circulation, and it must not be meant for me. It must not be meant for me to do what I plan on doing with this today. But I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see these? I want to show y'all something. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see these right here? Y'all see? Y'all want to make sure y'all looking at these, right? Y'all see this right here? Now I keep them in bundles of 5s, and I'm just gonna say what I do. You know what I'm saying? I was getting ready, but this is what we put this in circulation. This right here, they burn. When they get so many of these, they burn them. You know why? Because it's not real. In circulation, we think it's real because this is what they taught us. This is your maritime admiralty law. This is the law of the seas. Say again, baby.
Monopoly money.
Yeah, monopoly money. See what I'm saying? But we don't know that. People are killing people for what? For this right here. But see, we think it's real. We think that this has value when it don't. It's a note. It's not real. But we think it's real because in circulation, this is what they got us thinking. Until we stop using these, or until we get indexed, so the reset can start. This is still in circulation. This is not worth anything. This is nothing but paper
and ink.
Thank you. It's paper and ink. That's all it is. Now, I was going to do some of this because some things that I wanted to do and take care of, but I guess it wasn't meant for me to take care of that because I got it on me right now just to share with you what I was planning on doing with it. So I'm only sharing this with you because that's not profit. The real profit is gold and silver. Mm-hmm. That's the real money. But if you think about it, if y'all remember at the time, it was a place called Fort Knox. They had all the gold. They stole all the gold. Now you don't hear. Then what? The next place, guess what? They had the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers had all the funds and gold. This is why they called them the what they call them? The World Trade Centers. That's why they call. Think about this. Y'all don't listen to words. The World Trade Centers. They trade funds. They trade things from here. This is very important that people are so dead and blind to. You're blinded and you're dead and don't even understand it. But when you try to wake our people up, they like being asleep. They like being dead. And you know something? They're going to die in their sleep. And when I mean die, this is going to be the second death. You already got one death. We dead right now walking around like this. But don't even know what's going on. But I'm living. I think I'm doing. I'm out here. I'm drinking. I'm partying. I got my two what they be having, my whatever they be drinking. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm not in that lifestyle. That's not my lifestyle. So I don't live like that. But people be thinking they living it up and don't realize they just dead as a doorknob. They don't have knowledge. And that's the problem. It's sad. But just to finish that up, it says the end of 19, things wherein there is no profits. Number 20, shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Shall a man make gods unto himself, things that they worship? This is one of the main things. This right here, in God we trust. This right here is one of the main gods that people die for it. People work day and night for it. People don't get rest behind it. People would do everything they can. This so-called, like I got on this situation because of the holidays that y'all, I'm saying y'all because I don't keep them. The holidays that y'all keep.
Some of y'all.
Yeah, some of y'all. And thank you, baby, for correcting me on that. That some of y'all keep. Because I know everybody don't do it. And always, if you know you don't do it, I'm not even referring to you. So some people get offended. Like, are you talking to me? No. If it don't pertain to you, I'm not talking to you. But yet and still, this right here is a lot of people gods in the first place. This is their God. And everything they do that they worship is their God. And this right here verse, and the reason I got on this, and even though this is indexing class, this is part of everything we do in this part of prophecy. And I'm just giving you a better understanding when it comes to it. Every time I come on indexing class, I got something different to say a lot of times to give you a better understanding. If you didn't get it from the beginning, go back and check it out when we get done. But otherwise, we're going to finish it up as soon as I finish this last verse. Verse 20 and then 21. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Verse 21. Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might. See, he only gonna do it one time because he's showing you right here why you're doing it. Why he's doing it. He's doing it this one time is the only time he has to do it because we're waking up from it. He's showing it all through prophecy. And as he's showing it through prophecy, we're waking up and seeing it. He don't have to do it 2 or 3 times because we're going through it this one time. We're seeing it. Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might. And they shall know that my name is Almighty Yah. My name is the Father. My name is the universe. However you want to say it, you're going to know the Father is the Father. You're going to know who he is because he's the one who's causing this. And we're indexing right now. And the reason why I went to that, I just shared with y'all when I got started. The reason I got on that is because of the holidays, everybody, and it just went the way it went. And that's where the Father used me. He used me to put his word out the way. And whatever comes to spark the interest to bring it out, it comes the way it comes. But it's up to you to accept it or reject it. And that's it. So the whole thing is a lot of people are worshiping things they are not. And they are way, way out of character, out of context. And that's just the way I started indexing class today. Thank you. Thank you. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I love you. And like I say, if it don't pertain to you, don't get offended to it behind it, because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking with you, and we all are together. If you're not doing these things, share this information, put the information out, because people need to know the real truth. Baby, if this stops, just push that again so it'll start back up, because sometimes it gets so far up and then it'll go into another, so you have to start it again, okay? Mm-hmm. Just put it whenever you get started. Make sure you pay attention to it. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to have Shelly Bowling, as we always do. She's going to give the information to the indexing. You didn't go to the page, did you? Because you know how it cuts off. You know how it cuts off there. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let Shelly get on here. We're going to put the recording on. When Shelly comes on, she actually gives you the information about indexing classes, how it started. Well, shall I say not indexing class, but how indexing started, how Dr. Henderson paid the price. A lot of people, and this is something I want to share real quick. A lot of people out here thinking, well, not a lot, but some, right? We got some people out here, they said, my money, my this, my that. And I just want to say this. It's a lot of people who didn't know nothing about their QSIPs. It's a lot of people who didn't know anything about the funds that they have, or should I say, like in Revelations 2:9 and 3:9, when it says, I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. We are rich. When you're born, you were worth $1 million at birth, and you increase as you grow older. And they collect on your birth certificate at death. And I'm gonna tell you, when you go into this information I got 5, like I said, I got 5 links plus other links in the difference between lawful and legal. There's 5 links in there, and this guy is breaking information down that I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna open your mind. Yeah. If your mind is ready to be open. Mm-hmm. But the point I'm getting at, indexing is it. And I will say this. I'm gonna share this with you.